Guys, so we have a big breaking news coming out as Zelensky travels to Washington for peace talks. Russia strikes Ukraine with ballistic. All right, so we're gonna see what's going on here, guys. For those of you that don't know, Zelensky is heading to U.S. He's gonna be in D.C. tomorrow, and he's not coming alone. He got a whole bunch of very powerful leaders. We're talking about European leaders. But information is coming out. The European leaders told they will wait in the hall while Trump speak to Zelensky. Donald told them, "Look, I'm not here to talk to you guys. I don't know why you're coming. Stay there, man. Stay in the Roman Empire. Excuse me, in Europe." So I guess they were told you guys are gonna stay in the hall, and it goes to tell you that that Z, well, he's a Pinocchio, I guess. Pinocchio, you guys know what I'm saying? A puppy, a Pinocchio. So we do have some more breaking news. Once again, Kiev Independence putting out this information here. The bear launched a wave of missile strike towards Ukrainian cities late on August the 17th, mere hours before Zelensky is scheduled to meet for peace talk with Donald. Let's stop here for a moment. So you have Ukrainian news sources are saying, "How dare Vladimir do this?" While Zelensky is on the plane heading to DC, he's a bad man for doing this. But you guys also did the same thing too. You guys launched the biggest drone operation while Vladimir was on a plane heading to Alaska. So this is a tit for tat. And I do believe that Vladimir is like, just like he did to me, I'm doing to you too. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and a PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support. Your support truly helps out. Thank you so much for that. All right, so it says here the bear launched a wave of missile. So Ukraine launched a wave of drones while Vladimir was on a plane. The bear is launching a wave of missile while Ukrainian leader Zelensky is on a plane. All right, so it says here against Ukrainian cities late on August 17, mere hours before Zelensky is scheduled to meet for peace talk with U.S. Commander-in-Chief at the White House. And you guys already know, D.C., I mean, that thing is packed. From what I heard, there's another state. Another state is sending National Guards. I mean, D.C. is just, it's a whole different ball game. Kharkiv mayor reported around 11 p.m. local time that a missile has struck a residential building in industrial district of Kharkiv. At least 8 were impacted in the strike, including a young one, the mayor said, adding that 12 multi-story buildings have been impacted in the strike. And again, I pray for all of them, and I don't side with no one when it comes to these biblical wars, because us Christian, we were called to be disciples, not cheerleaders. There's a lot of people that cheer for go Ukraine, go Ukraine. Other people cheer for the bear, go bear, the Russians. But again, we are not called to be cheerleaders. We are called to be disciples. No info was immediately available on the extent, of the damage caused or the status of the injured ones. Now, explosions were also heard in Sumy around 10:45 p.m. local time. So you have Ole, the governor of Sumy Oblast, said that a missile has struck near a facility in the city. There was no casualty were reported. Once again, the Gov later reported that the bear country struck the border village of Nova Sloboda with a guided aerial bomb impacting a 57 years old woman and damaging 10 houses. Man. In the southern city of Odessa, once again, explosions were reported around 11:40 p.m. amid the ongoing missile strike. According to the news outlets, Susflin, I think that's how you pronounce it. Now you have Crane Air Force has also warned of glide bomb strike along Crane's frontline region, as well as the warning of drone swarm across the country. So it says here the bear strike comes as Zelensky will visit DC tomorrow on August the 18th for peace talk with Donald alongside European leaders. The visit comes days after Donald met with the bear leader Vladimir at a summit in Alaska, to which Zelensky was not invited. While Donald said he and Vladimir made some headway in peace talks. The summit saw no agreement to end the war in Ukraine and no promise of cease plan while talks continue. You have the New York Times reported, citing European officials, that Vladimir outlined a peace plan that would involve Ukraine setting unoccupied territory in exchange for Moscow's written promise not to invade again. Now, despite Donald touting the progress of peace talks in recent days, the sleeping giant leader has previously expressed frustration with the bear strikes on Ukrainian cities amid ongoing peace negotiation with Kiev. Hopefully this works out. If tomorrow things goes well, that means that there is a final step, and that will be August 22nd. Zelensky, Donald, Putin together, and hopefully from there it will end the biblical war. Just imagine that, Donald just ending all these biblical wars. That would be amazing. He would go down the history book. I mean, it would be great. It would be amazing. Now, the only big issue is that Donald is siding with Ben. Ben is going really crazy, Mad Ben, just causing famines out there in the strip. Now, it says here, I've gotten to see things I was very, very surprised at. You have rockets being shot down. Rockets being shot into cities like Kiev during a negotiation that was maybe very close to ending, Donald said during a news conference in the Oval Office on May 30th. All of a sudden, rockets got shot into a couple of cities and some have passed. I saw a thing I was surprised at, and I don't like being surprised. So I am very disappointed in that way, Donald added. Hold on, Donald. Okay, but what about Ben? What about the Mideast, man? I mean, you got Ben going after certain facility. I mean, a church, hospital against school. Ain't you gonna say anything to Ben about that? It just, again, you can't play one-sided. You just can't. I can understand what's going on with the bear and crane. That war needs to end. But the Holy Land, look, I stand with the Holy Land. But I cannot look up to those who run the Holy Land. I mean, they just a whole different ball game, and they're causing a lot of famines out there. It just, it's not right. It says here, the bear has increased its intensities of strike on Ukrainian cities in recent months amid ongoing peace negotiations, attempting to gain more leverage at the negotiating table and pressure Ukraine into an unfavorable peace deal. I mean, if Donald could get this, I mean, he would go down as basically one of the best. He would be on, top 5 or top 4 Mount Rushmore. It would be like joining the top 4. You got again Washington, Abraham. Again, you got again Donald's gonna be in that. I mean, you got so many good ones there. You got again FDR. FDR is one of the great ones. I mean, the way I see it, even though he was a left, he was like considered left, but again, he really took us out from that biblical war, and he served multiple terms, more than 2 terms. He would have done more, but he had some issue. He passed away. But again, there's a lot of great sleeping giant leaders that is in that Rushmore. One of the greatest of sleeping giant leaders. Donald will join that list. I do believe so. Donald will join that list. Joe would have done it, but again, he decided to be a Pinocchio. He decided to be a Pinocchio. Guys, I want to bring this information up. Supposedly, the European leaders told they will wait in a hall while Donald speaks to Zelensky. So let's see what's going on here. I got to see what's happening here. So Turner's putting out this information. So give me a second. Okay, so we're going to go with his opinion editorial. So give me a second here. So Donald has once again exposed, okay, we already know that. The sleeping giant leader flatly rejected the idea of a joint session with European leaders. I just don't understand why Z got to bring him. Come on, Z. I mean, Vladimir, yeah, he brought some people, but not, again, world leaders. He brought, certain foreign ministers and stuff like that, but he didn't bring no leaders. He was the only leader that stepped foot in American territory. You bringing in the whole European with you. Man. It says here the sleeping giant leader flatly rejected the idea of a joint session with European leader, insisting instead on a solo meeting with Zelensky before anyone else enters the room. The optic of brutal. Europe's leader fly across the Atlantic only to sit like young ones outside the Oval Office, waiting for permission to enter. If I were Donald, just to mess with them, you guys are really hard-headed. Okay, Rubio, come here. Give these coloring books to them, all right? I want you to give him The Little Mermaid. I want you to give him Pinocchio. Give him some crayons and let them sit there and just color those things. Tell them they're going to wait there for a little while. You could put on the VCR and let them watch The Little Mermaid. So it says here, the sleeping giant leader, okay, I read that part, the optic of brutal. Europe's leaders fly across the Atlantic only to sit like young ones outside in the Oval Office, waiting for permission to enter. This is not partnership. It is humiliation, dressed up as diplomat. You know what? And I love it. Z, visibly reluctant but cornered, will sit down with Donald alone. It's like they don't want Z to make that decision. Again, it's really sad. It goes to tell you that Z is basically a Pinocchio. He's a Pinocchio. Dude, I mean, you would have brought with you news journalists and some, top generals, whatever, but you bringing the European leaders, I mean, it just make you look like a Pinocchio. So it says here, reports confirm that the Europeans will only be allowed in after Donald has dictated terms to Kiev. All right, so it seems like, give me a second here, the sleeping giant is 72% of, okay, so we put in a lot of money and all that type of stuff in NATO. For Z, this is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Without his EU buddies shielding him, he faces Donald directly, forced to negotiate with the man he cannot control without the safety net of European platitudes and hollow unity talk. I guarantee that the deep, STATES, they told the European go with him. go with him. We don't want him to go alone. So I'm just going to skip the rest of this. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? I mean, and to be honest, I don't know why the Europeans have to come. I mean, it's not again, it's not like they are involved in this biblical war. I mean, they are involved, but it's not their biblical war. It's not theirs. This is Crane and the bear. This is not Europe, Crane versus the bear. If that was the case, the bear would have dropped nukes on Europe a long time ago. But again, this is where we at right now, guys. This is where we at. Tomorrow, buckle up. It's going to be big tomorrow. Z is going to come with a whole bunch of Europeans. And yeah, we're going to see how all this plays out. And again, like I said, I think those Europeans are going to be there just to protect their buddy, Mr. Z. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Faith and trust in Jesus Christ. For He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.